Do you want to learn the top 10 laws of writing a headline? Great! Today I'm going to teach you what they are. I'm Maverick, the marketing consultant. Now before we hop into this video, I'm going to do a little pop quiz, a little multiple choice to test your advertising acumen. Where do you think you're going to find the best headlines? In the newspaper or books? Multiple choice, A or B, newspaper or books. I'm going to tell you at the end of the video. Everybody is using marketing to get what they want in this world, whether they're looking for their lost pup, whether they're trying to get a job or trying to get a promotion, whether they're trying to meet the man or woman of their dreams on Instagram. No matter what your goals in this world, great marketing is going to move you to them faster and better than anything else. Hi, I'm Maverick. I've been a Fortune 500 marketing consultant for about the last 10 years or so. I'd like to teach you everything I know with absolutely no sales pitches. Today, I want to go over the top 10 laws for writing a great headline. Headlines are going to be essential for everything you want to do in this world. Again, getting a job, getting a scholarship, getting a grant, selling your stuff, finding your lost pup, no matter what it is, you need to be able to write a great headline in the interest of getting it. Today we're using the headlines written directly by the man, the myth, the legend himself, David Ogilvy. In my opinion, one of the greatest ad men, one of the greatest copywriters of all time. These 10 laws come directly from him. Law number one for writing a great ad headline is use your brand image, if possible, in the headline itself. One of my favorite case studies of all time is Dove soap, and they're famous. I can't talk right now. I'm covered head to toe in Dove, and it showed a beautiful, thin, attractive looking woman in a soap covered with suds. It just looked luxurious. It looked gentle. You could even smell the ad just by looking at it. You could smell the suds. And it was just something that really captivated the attention, the imagination, and certainly of everybody looking at it, and sold a ton of Dove bars. The number two law of writing a headline is make the headline like a meat label. If you've been to the grocery store, you know that a meat label says exactly what it is as quickly and as concisely as possible without wasting any time, energy, or space. And a great headline does this. For example, De Beers and their classic ad, "A Diamond is Forever," really captured the essence of what a diamond is. Number one, it's a status symbol. You don't have to say it, everybody knows it. But what's the difference between a diamond and a Ferrari, right? Depreciation. Most status symbols, and I know this all too well, they depreciate over time. A diamond doesn't. As long as you have that baby cleaned, it'll last forever. And so De Beers crafted one of the best, one of the most perfect headlines I've ever seen, at least for diamonds, in the interest of selling more stuff. The next law of writing a headline is always appeal to people's self-interest. All too often, we can forget that people are self-interested. People are self-obsessed. And that's great, because we can use it to sell them more stuff. One of the best examples I can think of all time of leveraging people's self-interest to sell them more stuff is Fred Smith's great company he founded. Great guy, so sad to see him go in 2022. FedEx. And what they were doing was two things with this ad: selling their brand image, and number two, appealing to people's self-interest. Get ready, here it is. When it absolutely, positively must be there overnight. Now, when they wrote this headline back in the 1970s, I believe it was their ad agency, Ali and Gargana. They were swallowed up by WPP. Great ad agency. They also represented Dunkin' Donuts. But the bottom line is, what they wanted to do was capture the brand image, which was overnight. When Fred Smith wanted you to think about his company, he wanted you to think overnight, that it's going to be there overnight. Not the next day. That's too long. Overnight. So one word, pound it away, and appeal to people's self-interest when it absolutely, positively must be there overnight. The next law of writing a great headline is write the headline as if it's a news headline, like something you'd see in the Washington Post, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. And this is so powerful because when you write a headline as if it's news, it gets more attention, it gets more interest, it gets more curiosity. A famous case study about this is when Apple introduced the iPhone. And the headline, correct me if I'm wrong, was something like, introducing the iPhone, Apple reinvents the phone. I believe that was it. And that was so powerful because it was like you were reading a news headline, not an ad. You were reading about a current event, something big and something innovative going on. At the end of the day, it was, right? Steve Jobs knew his product and he knew his market, but more importantly, he knew great headlines. And that headline was so effective at introducing the iPhone and making sure that people realized that Apple was completely reinventing an industry. The next law of writing a headline is there's a certain stable of words that you can use that are going to exponentially increase your customer conversion. And you see these words all the time. They're almost always peddled by the same industries, weight loss, finance, so on and so forth. And they're as follows. And you know these right off the bat. Words like at last or introducing. We just talked about that in the Apple ad. How to, right? Finally, right? All these different ads that grab attention, grab interest, and drive curiosity. So important and so effective at selling what you're offering. The next law of writing a great headline is 5 times more people read the headline than the body itself. And the reason for that is simple. A headline on an ad or on an article or on anything, books, so on and so forth, it's like the sign on the front of a store. When you're going and you're shopping, you want to make sure the places you're going, the places you put your attention are useful to you. And so a headline is so infinitely important in just getting people to come into the store, to read the actual ad, to engage with the website. If the headline does not properly convey its value, why it's useful, why people should like and trust your company and what you're offering, forget about it, you're dead. So the point is, spend more time writing the headline than the actual ad itself. John Caples, in his book, he talks a lot about, I believe it was called Scientific Advertising. He talks a lot about how much time and energy he would spend finding the best headline. He would spend days working on the headline and write the sales letter in a few hours. So the point is, 5 times more people read the headline than the ad itself. Spend more time and energy on the headline than the actual sales letter. The next law of writing a great headline is, if possible, use your sales message in the headline itself. Clearly the best example of this, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Geico's famous 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. So beautiful, so perfect. I get emotional just thinking about it. First of all, I love the redundancy, the repetitiveness of the 15 minutes, 15%. Number 2, I love how it immediately targets people's self-interest. We always talk about people buy things for 5 reasons: health, wealth, convenience, mating options, or status. This increases your wealth. This saves you more money. Again, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. It's a perfect slogan, it's a perfect pitch, and it's a perfect headline. The next law for writing a great headline that's going to sell more of your stuff is drive curiosity in what you're offering. Now, believe it or not, this covers my favorite headline of all time. However, driving curiosity in what you offer, not too sexy, not too spicy, not too interesting. However, listen to this headline written by John Caples for a mail-in order piano course, and they advertised it with direct mail. The ad itself had a man behind a piano, and the headline was, "They all laughed when I sat behind the piano, but when I started to play." There is so much going on with this headline. Like a great story, Walt Disney always said the key to a great Disney story or movie is creating tension early on. So by introducing the product with "They all laughed when I sat behind the piano," he's being humiliated. He's being rejected by a group, no less. But when I started to play, this taps deep into the social phenomenon that most people feel underestimated, they feel doubted, they feel laughed at, ridiculed, right? So how can one elevate themselves in society? How can one boost their status, boost their social signs of competence and value? They all laughed when I sat behind the piano, but when I started to play, oh, I see, this product will permanently unlock my ability to showcase my status, gain social acceptance, ensure that I'm never doubted, never humiliated. I will win, conquer, and defeat because I'm buying this course. This was written by John Caples, one of the most famous copywriters that ever lived. He's no longer with us, but his legacy is, his work is. And this headline above and beyond, shows you what's capable, how you can dig deep into the psychological forces that drive us and leverage them in the interest of selling your stuff. Definitely the best headline of all time. The next law of writing a great headline is no tricky language. One of the best examples of this is Heinz's campaign, "The best things come to those who wait." I have no idea what that headline means. I have no idea how that pertains to ketchup, condiments, or eating as a whole. However, they used it, a little tricky, a little strange. I used to see a lot of high-end brands using this mistake with tricky language. Don't do it. Again, the headline needs to quickly convey at a 4th grade reading level what you're selling and what's in it for the person reading it. The last law of writing a great ad headline is never write a meaningless headline. All too often, I'm sure you've read a headline in the past and you came away not knowing what the ad was about. And maybe you had a little humility and you thought to yourself, well, I'm not an ad person, so I just don't understand what they're trying to convey. BS! Absolute crap, and here's why. You should always come away after reading an ad and knowing either intellectually what it's about and viscerally how it makes you feel. If it doesn't accomplish one or the other, the ad campaign failed. If you feel confused, like you have no idea what you just read, what you just saw, what you just experienced, the ad campaign, the marketing campaign failed. So one of my favorite examples is Volkswagen, who was trying to position themselves globally as the #1 car manufacturer in the world, right? Because of their German engineering and all that mumbo jumbo. The ad headline they wrote to try to tee off this movement was Das Auto. You heard that right, D-A-S Auto, which apparently, according to Google, means the auto or the car. I don't speak German, I didn't know this. That was the headline, completely meaningless, meant absolutely nothing. It certainly didn't position them in my brain as the #1 car manufacturer in the world. So again, if you come away from the ad and you don't understand what it's trying to offer you, or number 2, how it improves your position, your condition in this world, then it absolutely failed. So at the beginning of this video, I asked you, where do you think you're going to find the best headlines inside of newspapers or books? And if you answered books, you're 100% correct, and here's why. Newspapers, they have to constantly pump them out with information and articles, and so they have less people, less time, and less money to dedicate toward crafting the best possible headlines. However, books, a lot more time, a lot more energy, and a lot more people go into making sure these things are successful. It really converges a lot of time, talent, and resources, all in the interest of crafting the best headlines. For example, listen to some of these. Living the 80-20 Way. And it's not the book title, but right underneath, right? The subheadline, but we'll call it the headline. Work less, worry less, succeed more, enjoy more. That's really hitting all 5 things people want to buy. Convenience, status, health, wealth, and mating options, all in one headline. Absolutely perfect. These are some of my favorite books. You've got mental models. Listen to this one. 30 thinking tools that separate the average from the exceptional. Improve decision making, logical analysis, and problem solving. Who wouldn't want to read that? Here's another one. Built to Sell, teaching people how to build companies that sell. Creating a business that can thrive without you. These are just pure gold. So if you want to really study some great headlines, I wouldn't start with newspapers. I wouldn't even start with great ads. I'd start with books. You're going to find some of the best headlines that have ever been written. Great place to start. So I'm Maverick, the marketing consultant, your marketing consultant. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you did, I will see you here back next week. Take care. Bye-bye.